What's up, guys? My name's Drove, and I'm back today with some more Minecraft and Reddit stories. I'm going to be doing some expanding on my garden and just doing some exploring. First story's from r/casual conversation. So I accidentally started a neighborhood feud, and I'm too embarrassed to fix it. 3 weeks ago, I was walking my dog when my neighbor's sprinkler hit me. I was having a bad day, so I muttered something about them watering the sidewalk more than their lawn. The lady next door heard me, and apparently she's had issues with that sprinkler for months. She thought I was on her side and marched over there to confront them about it. Now, the entire block has picked sides. One family thinks I started some campaign against them. The other neighbor keeps thanking me for backing her up in her war with them. People have stopped talking to me because they're friends with one another. The crazy part is the sprinkler was fixed a week ago, but now they're leaving passive-aggressive notes on each other's cars and parking to block each other's views. I just wanted to walk my dog in peace. Now I'm scared to leave my house because I might make it worse. How do you tell an entire neighborhood that you accidentally started a feud over getting slightly damp? That's like next level petty, like this story. I mean, I get it. It's like not a big deal though that sprinklers, cleaning the sidewalk a little bit. It ain't that deep, but we all have bad days. It is what it is. This next one's from r/stories. I accidentally started a fake relationship with my dentist nephew, and now I have to bring him to my cousin's wedding. I swear, this isn't as insane as it sounds. Or maybe it is. I don't know anymore. So I had to get my wisdom teeth pulled last month. All four. It was horrible. I cried when they put the numbing stuff in. Not from pain, just vibes. The dentist was this sweet older guy, probably in his 60s, super gentle, gave dad energy. Anyway, after the whole thing, I'm in the waiting room with a mouthful of gauze, looking like a bloated chipmunk and trying not to drool on myself. This guy walks in, maybe 20-ish, tall, curly hair, kinda goofy looking, but in a hot way. He smiles at me and goes, "You look like you fought a squirrel and lost." I flip him off with love. Apparently, he's the dentist's nephew. He was dropping off lunch or something. I wasn't listening. I was trying to keep my face from leaking. He sits down and starts chatting with me while I wait for my ride. I don't say much because, again, gauze goblin. But I must have made an impression because later that night, I get a message on Instagram. "How's the squirrel wound?" Followed by a squirrel emoji and a heart. Turns out he found me through the office's tagged posts. Creepy, but honestly, I respect the hustle. We start talking, like a lot, every day. He's funny, makes fun of me in the exact right way, sends pictures of his food that he thinks looks impressive but is objectively terrible. It's kinda cute. Now, here's where it goes off the rails. My cousin is getting married next weekend, and I may have lied and said I was seeing someone. I didn't do it to be shady, it was just my aunt kept saying, "You'll find someone someday," like I'm a Victorian spinster or something. So I panic lied and said I was bringing someone. My mom gets excited, the group chat explodes. Suddenly, everyone wants to meet this mysterious man. I try to backpedal, say he might not be able to come. My cousin says she's already added him to the seating chart with his own salmon. So what do? I tell dentist boy. I say, "Crazy idea. Want to be my fake wedding date next weekend to meet 87 drunk relatives and pretend we've been dating for 2 months?" And this man says, "Only if I get a backstory and a safe word." That's awesome. We now have a full fake relationship lore. We met at a farmer's market. He rescued my reusable bag from blowing into the street. Our safe word is kumquat. The wedding is in 5 days. I ordered us matching outfits. I don't know what's wrong with me, but also I kind of really want to kiss him. Yeah, you definitely need to bag this one for sure. He sounds like he's a funny dude. Just based on the only if I get a backstory and a safe word. I would see what happened. I'd be curious to get an update on this, honestly. Next one's from Tales from the Front Desk. This is hotel, not Tinder. Recently, my previous hotel became a construction worker's place. We have a lot of stayovers as well as regular guests who stay during the weekdays. Their rate is discounted and fixed, but only applies Sunday through Thursday nights. All of our guests know about this policy. We explain them every time during a check-in. We had this construction guy staying at our hotel during the week, typically 4-night guests. Checks in Monday, out Friday. Friday comes, checkout time, and housekeeping tells me his stuff is still in the room. In our hotel, policy is simple. Everyone must pay before checkout time, no exceptions. It was already noon. My manager told me to call the guest first, and if he doesn't answer, just make a new key so his old one stops working. Anyways, I called. He picked up. I told him it's past checkout, and if he's staying another night, he needs to pay. Now, I explained that Fridays have a higher rate than the rest of the week. Not full weekend rate, but still more than is usual. I explained that, and he wasn't having it. He got all annoyed and tried to bargain, but I've been staying here all week. Then the man twice my age goes, "I'll only pay if you go out with me." I just said, "Okay, so you're leaving then?" Click, he hung up. Like, seriously, does he really think I'd care that much about him staying here? That I'd trade a date for a hotel payment? Please. That's disgusting. Like, this guy could be your dad. Absolutely not. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I feel like it's a pretty easy answer. This next one's from r/stories. I accidentally wrote a breakup letter for a stranger. She read it on stage. I was sitting in a cafe trying to write a letter to my ex. It wasn't like a please take me back thing. It just had a lot I never said. And I figured writing it out might help me move on. It was messy, way too long, and I kept starting over. At some point, I went to the bathroom and left my laptop open like an idiot. When I got back, there was a post-it on my screen. "Hey, sorry for reading this. I didn't know it was real at first. I only read the first few lines, but it hit me hard. I'm doing a performance thing tonight. Can I read it? No names, just the words. If not, ignore this. Either way, beautiful writing. Hope you're okay." At first, I was like, WTF? Who reads someone's screen and then asks to perform it like it's slam poetry? But I don't know. Something about the note made me laugh. It felt weirdly genuine. So I edited the letter, took my ex's name out, smoothed a few parts, printed it, and left it in an envelope with "For the Stage Thief" written on the front. Didn't think I'd ever know what happened. Then, 2 weeks later, I got a random DM on Instagram from someone I didn't know. "Hey, are you the person who wrote the letter from the Blue House Cafe? I think this is yours." Attached was a blurry video of a girl standing on a tiny stage in what looked like a bookstore. She was holding my letter, reading it, word for word. And everyone was dead silent. You know when you see someone say something so real it almost feels awkward to listen to? That's how it looked. People weren't clapping. They were just watching her feel it. I didn't even feel like the writer anymore. It was hers now. Anyway, the person who sent the video was her friend. She wanted to say thanks, but didn't want to be weird. I ended up messaging her directly and just said, "You read it better than I ever could have." She replied, "It helped me and something I was too scared to leave." I haven't talked to her since. Don't really need to. Just kind of wild how something I wrote for someone who never cared ended up mattering to someone who needed it. Still write letters sometimes. Still never send them, just in case someone else is reading. Well, that was a nice, wholesome story. I feel like, it's nice when things work out like that. And yeah, never know what's going to happen to the things that you write, especially if you leave your laptop open. Anyways, on to the next one. Got another one from r/2 hot takes. My father, 48 male, is sleeping with my best friend, 25 female, from high school. I, 25 female, met my best friend Sam, 25 female, freshman year of high school. We were 14 at the time, and immediately became best friends. We were the type of close that people thought we were dating. She was constantly over at my house and came on several family vacations throughout the years. I babysat my siblings throughout most of high school, so when I went off to college, my parents hired Sam as a babysitter. Me and Sam grew a little distant due to me going to college a few hours away, but we also saw each other on a pretty regular basis when I came home. Fast forward, and she's been babysitting my siblings for about 4 years and is very close with my family, and we all see her as family. There have been some issues my family has had with Sam in the past where she'd been invited over as a guest and there's drinking involved, and she had the tendency to get messy drunk and make some of the men uncomfortable, being a little too touchy. I had brought this up to her and we moved past it. At this point, we've grown a little apart, but still hang out like once or twice a month. My parents decide to invite me on a trip to Amsterdam, and I decide to invite Sam along, so I had someone my age to explore the city with me who would want to do the same things as me. On the trip, Sam begins to act very weird and distant. On the last day, I can tell my parents got into a huge fight and they aren't talking. The weekend after we get back from the trip, my father, Jer, 48 male, moved out of the house and said he needed some space. After a month, he decided that he wanted a divorce. It was all very sudden and came out of left field for my mom, siblings, and myself. Once my dad moved out, Sam started to become very weird. I ended up catching her in some little lies. She had mentioned seeing an older guy, but she was always weird about the people she was seeing, so I didn't think much of it. About a month after my dad moved out, I found out that Sam had gone to my dad for help. She was having issues with her mom, who she lived with, and was crashing at my dad's occasionally when she couldn't be around her mom. I thought it was really weird that she would keep it from me and not even tell me she was having issues. I knew about her home life and always told her she was welcome to stay with me. After this, my mom was convinced Jer was sleeping with Sam and had been for a while. I didn't want to believe it, but started noticing all the little details and lies, so I started keeping some distance from Sam and had a couple talks with my dad, but wasn't ready to say they were sleeping together. Fast forward about a year, my parents are divorced and I've moved states away for work. I call my brother, 14 male, to see how he's doing, and he tells me our father has a girlfriend, and it's Sam. I then call my mother, who tells me she has proof that my father has been in a relationship with Sam going back to at least 2023, and proceeds to tell me how he has cheated on her throughout their marriage and didn't want to tell me so I wouldn't look at my father differently. Since then, my father knows that I know and has not said a single word to me, but he has told his side of the family and has recently started bringing Sam around family events and introduces her as his girlfriend. Remind you, he has known her since she was 14. Most of his family is disgusted by his actions and don't want him around the girls of the family. I've not reached out to either Sam or my father, as I debate just pretending like they don't exist and wanting to go scorched earth. Recently, I found out the reason my father's not reached out to even inform me of this relationship is because he's mad that I can't just be happy for him. I think they are both truly selfish people and want nothing to do with either. I don't even know what to do with this information or how to process it. I've also noticed at times that Sam would bring up this guy she was seeing, and it was my father, and I'm so grossed out thinking I helped give my friend guy advice about my father. I also now cannot view my father as anything other than a creep who grooms girls, or worse, as I have no idea when this relationship started. That's disgusting. Just chalk that one up as an L. Maybe find a new dad. I don't know. But not him. Yeah. Next up is from r/funny stories. My insane doctor's appointment, and we have liftoff. If you've ever been so embarrassed you could literally die, you gotta hear this. So here I am, straight out of high school. It was a couple years since my last physical and I was due. So I scheduled a doctor's appointment for a regular physical. You have no idea how this is going to end. I get to my appointment and I'm ready for whatever. Open my mouth and say take big deep breaths in and out, yes, drop my pants, turn and cough. Then he says, we should take a urine sample. And I'm like, easy peasy. So I get a cup from the nurse, head to the bathroom, and splash all over to get a sample. You think it's easy, but it's not like a faucet. Once you start, you can't stop. I cleaned up, walked out, and gave the cup of pee to the nurse and head home full of pride, thinking surely I passed with flying colors. Nope. The nurse calls me later that afternoon, and I'm thinking, I only slept with a couple girls. What could it be? She begins to tell me that my test came back abnormal and that I should see a specialist. What specialist? I ask. She says, we found an abnormal amount of white blood cells in your urine, and we'd like you to see a urologist. I schedule a urologist appointment a week later, and I'm thinking the worst. Could it be an STD, or worse, yet some type of disease? Maybe I have a defective ding-dong? I have no clue. I nervously walk in, sit down, and wait my turn, gripping the chair with both hands like I'm about to take off on a rocket ship. There are other guys in the waiting room all waiting their turns, but it's obvious that I'm the youngest of this space shuttle crew. Finally, my name gets called, and I sit down in the exam room. About 20 minutes later, the doctor comes in and explains what the nurse told me over the phone. Here I am thinking it'll just be another urine sample, right? Then he says, I'd like to start with a bladder scope. Great, they're going to cut me open and look at my bladder. This obviously won't happen today, and this will need to be scheduled out. Nope, he says, no, we won't have to cut you open. We'll take a thin tube with a light and a camera at the end of it and insert it into your urethra. I am visibly shaking at this point. What's my urethra? Is that a medical term for belly button? I ask. No, it's where you urinate from. I immediately turn white and start sweating. I begin to tell him, I don't think this is necessary. I've only slept with 2 girls and there must be some type of mistake. Can we schedule this for another time? No, we have it scheduled for today, and trust me, it won't hurt or take long, he says. I get taken back into another room where they lay me down to prepare me for the procedure. I'm literally shaking at this point, thinking I just want to go home and crawl under the covers. Then about 4 other nurses walk into the room. Apparently they are students who are observing the procedure for educational purposes. WTF, I'm thinking. This older female nurse, probably in her 60s, then comes up to me and says, I need to prepare the area for the procedure. She then proceeds to clean my junk with this orange-reddish liquid called iodopovidine. Oh no, it's been some time since my last encounter with my ex, but this is not good. She's cleaning the area like it's her last supper, and here I am getting a rock-hard bonsai tree. I grasp the table, and before I can start to think of my grandmother, the inevitable happens. I have no control. It went so fast, I had no time to think. It, and I mean it, comes out. The nurse takes a step back and immediately places a towel over and says, it's not the first time. The procedure was quick, and I got dressed and walked out of the office with my tail between my legs. I get home and shower like I've just been violated. Thankfully, everything was just fine, except for my pride. I haven't had a physical since. Poor guy. That is very embarrassing. I can only imagine being in that situation. That's horrible. This one's from r/entitled people. Coworker thinks she can treat younger people than her like garbage with no consequences. I work at a school and there's a woman that's a TA there that has literally been in almost every classroom in the district because she never gets along with the other employees in the room. She's old enough to have retired years ago if she wanted to, so of course everybody else is younger than her. Now, she is not born and raised in the US and believes that she basically has a free pass to crap all over people and constantly replies, respect your elders, when people argue with her. I've already informed her that I don't give a damn what they believe where she is from, because in the US, you need to treat people with respect if you want to get respect in return. I've already informed her that I don't give a damn what they believe where she's from, because in the US, you need to treat people with respect if you want to get respect in return, and being old is not a free pass to act like an insufferable person. She always scoffs at this, but it's gotten to the point where one of the young female assistants almost beat the crap out of her for some nasty comments she made during summer school. I don't know why the school is refusing to do anything about her and just moves her around, but I feel like it's only a matter of time before the lady pushes somebody over the edge. Somebody's gonna push her over the edge. Luckily, I found out that I will not be in the same room as her this year. Maybe I'll get lucky and she'll be moved around to a different building again. You think if you never got along with anybody, no matter where you go, it would make you think that maybe you're the problem, but this obviously never enters the mind of entitled people. Yeah, most definitely. If I had to be around somebody like that, I don't know. I'd probably push her off of like a curb or something. I don't know. I can't be around people like that. I'm sure you guys can't either. If you can, God bless you. Anyways, that's all the Minecraft and Reddit stories I've got for you today. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Peace.